Hey guys, welcome to Ms.Accountability. I am thankful to have all of you guys here tuning in today on this beautiful day. Listen, there is no time like today to change and to step in to your future. And what I mean by that is step into your moment, step into your future, and get all the blessings that you are deserved right here, right now. Listen, we wanted to take the time and pay homage to a very, very special person who is no longer with us, Mr. Kevin Samuels. If you guys do not know who Kevin Samuels is, then you guys must have been underneath a rock because Mr. Kevin Samuels, he was the guy to give it to you straightforward, give it to you the way it TI is, and he did not play no games when it came to us women folk. And let me tell you something. Kevin Samuels is an Oklahoma native, okay? Oklahoma City native. He died May 5th, 2022 in Atlanta, Georgia. But I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. This man died, and he died in a way that a lot of people were shocked in. That man passed away while getting it in. Yes. I am not holding y'all. That man was getting his rocks off, and apparently he had a heart attack. But that's neither here or there. Let's give homage to a king because you know what? A lot of people hated Kevin Samuels. And unfortunately, a lot of women hated Kevin Samuels. And the reason why they hated Kevin Samuels is because Kevin Samuels gave us the truth. He gave us the raw, uncut, unfiltered truth. And let's be honest, women, we don't want to hear the truth at all. It doesn't matter if that truth is going to help us better ourselves, if that truth is going to be for us to grow, or even help us find a man. Yeah, yes. Now, a lot of people know that Kevin Samuel spoke mostly to single women, and he was trying to help single women find a man. And in doing this, he was very raw and uncut. And a lot of people did not like him for that. They did not like him for being raw and uncut. But I want to give homage because Kevin Samuels changed this game. I don't know if we call what he had a podcast or a web series or whatever you want to call it, but that man changed the game. And if you were a woman and you decided to listen to Kevin Samuels, I guarantee you would not be a single woman anymore. Yes. No, sis, you wouldn't be a single woman anymore. For the women who went on his show and they didn't like what he had to say, I guarantee you those women are still single. Because most of the women who came on his show, they were looking for high valued men. And Kevin told him, "What is your weight, my dear?" And I remember a woman said, "I weigh about two." He said, "Stop it right there." Stop it right there, honey. You ain't even qualified. Y'all know how Aaron the plumber said, "You ain't even qualified, miss. You're not qualified." And I'm going to break down some of the things that he said, and I'm going to tell you why he is the GOAT and why he is the king, and why we need to remember the late Kevin Samuels, and why we should still take some of his advice today. Listen, Kevin Samuels, whether you loved him, you hated him, whatever, he was no gatekeeper. He gave it to us how it was, and he gave us a lot of game. Starting off with telling us about our weight. There were a lot of women who hated that he spoke about weight because he said, "You're not going to get a high value man if you weigh 200 plus pounds." And let's be honest, was he lying? No, he wasn't. Because a high value man is normally looking for a woman who is model size, normally model height, normally a beautiful smile, take care of herself, you know? And I'm not going to lie, they're normally looking for women who are in their early 20s to late 30s, not late 30s, but early 30s. And even saying so far as 30 is push it. Now, women, I know y'all gonna get mad at me, but listen, please don't get mad at me because I'm only saying what men are thinking. A lot of you guys do not want to believe that men want women of a particular size and a particular uh 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 I'm ooh weight bracket. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was very hard to say. That was very hard to say. I won't hold you. I won't hold you. But why is that? Because most men are looking to show off. And I'm going to be honest. Most men are looking to show other men what they have, especially when a man reaches a certain age bracket. He wants a woman that is his trophy wife. He can put her on her arm and say, "Hey, look what I have here. Look what I have here, my dear." But some women were offended by that. And ladies, let me tell y'all why we should not be offended by that. We should not be offended by a man telling us that we need to work on our bodies, that we need to get in shape. Because once we hit a certain weight, they start to veer off. They start to veer off, and we start to feel insecure. So it's not just about making that man feel secure in himself, ladies. It's about making us feel secure in ourselves. Because when we look good and we feel good, then we can walk with confidence and we're not checking that man every 5 minutes. What are you doing? Why are you looking at her? You don't love me anymore. That's how we build our confidence. So there was a lot of tales in what he told us. And I tell people all the time, if you listen to rappers like Too Short teaches you the game. Samuels was teaching us the game, ladies. And we get so offended all the time. Like there's no way for us to hold ourselves accountable. That's like getting married, gaining weight, and then acting like we did not gain any weight and acting like the weight did not affect our relationship in any way, any manner. Act like it didn't affect our health, which it did. Let's not lie. But that's on us to keep it together. Sometimes men tell us the truth and we'll defute it and be like, listen, he's just trying to hurt me. He's so mean. But maybe that man doesn't know how to communicate what he's trying to tell you. Maybe that man loves you enough to tell you, listen, get yourself together, baby, because I'm starting not to see you in the same light. And I know we all want to act like when we fall in love and we marry our soulmate, that they're not going to start to see the changes in our bodies and they're not going to judge us. Let's be honest, that happens. That happens because they're human. They're human. And in a perfect world, they wouldn't judge us. In a perfect world, they wouldn't care that we gained 10 to 20 pounds. Let's be honest. It doesn't bother them to a point where they're like, I'm going to get divorced. You know, the man who really, really stands in a certain role, they're not going to walk. But they are going to wonder what it's like to be with someone else a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner. And I'm not talking about light as in skin color. I'm talking about as in weight. And unfortunately, being a part of the big back crew, I understand this. And I started to really listen to Kevin Samuels and I started to understand what he was trying to say. He wasn't really just trying to tear us down. What he was trying to do is to bring a few women out of delusion. Not all women are in delusion, but there are a few women out here who are walking in a delusional state. Just like there's some men out there walking in a delusional state. But he set out to help women. And that's what I'm going to focus on because I'm still in shock that so many people celebrated this man's death just from him being honest. Y'all like, why we mad at a man for being honest? Like he was just telling us the truth, y'all. That man told us our backs was all waters outside. And instead of us taking the time to go fix it, hit the gym and get our backs right, we decided we was gonna celebrate this man's death. But that was a king, y'all. Y'all don't see the king in him. I seen the king in him, y'all. I seen the king in Kevin Samuels. And let me tell you why I seen the king in him. I seen the king in him because he wasn't sugarcoating nothing. He wasn't watering it down. He didn't really care about our feelings. because we wasn't his loved ones. Y'all, he was just out here trying to give us some good information. He said, "Listen, if you nearing 40 and you still not married, you should not be holding on to that box no longer." And let me tell you, I agree with him with that. Because, girl, 40? Now, me as a woman, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like it's kind of hurtful for someone to put a metric or value on my age. But the truth of the matter is, that's what happens. That's what men do. And if you want to be in a relationship with a man, then you can't be sitting here acting like you really sitting on the goods anymore. Cause ma'am, you are not. At 40, at 40 is almost spoiled milk. Let's be honest. I know y'all gonna be like, no, girl, no, Miss Speak on it. You tripping, girl. You tripping. No, I'm not tripping, y'all. At 40, he's right. You should be practically trying to give that cat away. And you better hope it still gets lubricated. Because if not, you're going to need to drive past AutoZone and get some WD 40 to oil that mother sucker up. Because let's not act like when you hit a certain number in age, you don't have to jumpstart that kitty cat. I'm not even trying to be mean, y'all. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just speaking facts. I'm just speaking facts. There's some things that women do and we need to improve. Just like men. I'm gonna speak on the men, but right now, ladies, I'm Kevin Samuel's youngest sister. And I am trying to help y'all get it together. At 40, stop holding on to that purse, okay? And we're not even gonna call it a purse anymore. Now, I ain't saying go throw that cat all around. I ain't saying go to the playground and go throw it around. I'm just saying, if you have a suitor and that person wants to take you on a date, stop playing like you 19 years old talking about you gotta wait 30 days. Girl, 30 days. He gonna bend and bend in some young stuff. That young stuff is gonna bend and put it on him. He gonna be walking around here giving her all his money when it could have been you. Cause don't get it twisted. I know some older women who are close to 50 that still get it in. And they still make that thing do what it do. Now, if you make it do what it do, you have a chance to lock you down a man. Now, listen, I know y'all gonna get mad at me and y'all gonna say that I'm bashing women. I'm not bashing women. I'm a woman myself. I'm speaking from a place of love. I'm speaking from a place of realization. I realize that as we age, men put a value on us. And once you hit 35, they feel like you have no more value. And then once you hit a certain age and then you have kids, oh man, they not trying to take you serious. Now they might take you on a few dates because they want to knock the cobwebs off that cobble pot. But they not trying to do nothing serious with you unless you look like Bernice Burgos and you don't look like you 50 and you got that banging Barbados body, baby, kissed by the sun. Now, if you got an expanding back like myself, now on the high value man, it's gonna be harder to reach. I don't care how good your personality is. Let's be honest. I don't care. I don't care if you got the most beautiful personality and the biggest heart. You're gonna always be overlooked for the girl who's standing next to you, who's thinner than you, who is younger than you, and who has less requirements and hoops to jump through than you. When you have all of these lists and all of these things requiring a man to date you and see you, they're not even looking at you anymore. They're looking past you. Let's be honest. Y'all gonna be mad at me, but let's be honest. That's all Kevin Samuels was doing, y'all. He was teaching us. And because we operate in a place of pride, listen, ladies, we operate in a place of pride. When you operate in a place of pride, you don't hear the message that is meant for you. And we have to stop taking everything so personal because everything doesn't need to be taken personal. There's some things that you could say, okay, maybe this isn't meant for me, but I'll take what is meant for me out of the message. And that's where we make the mistake. We make the mistake of not taking what we need from a message. Kevin Samuel said, if you have more than one baby daddy and you got a lot of kids and you don't even bring any value to the table, then you are going to be a single mother for the rest of your life. And I I know that that sounds harsh, but the facts are there. And I'm gonna do this though. See, I don't like that Kevin Samuels, but a lot of it towards race, because we're not gonna do that. Any woman has the possibility to be single for a long time, because there's things that we never learn from. If you are 45 and you are still making babies and you can't settle down with one person, if you are 35, you are still making babies and you can't settle down with one person, and you still don't have it together, ma'am, you are still going to be single by the time you hit 50. And that's because you have not took time to reevaluate your life. You have not took time to hold yourself accountable and say, okay, maybe I need to do better. Now, don't get it twisted. We all make mistakes when we're young, and we all have, some different baby daddies from here and there. And there are some men who are willing to overlook that. But the men who won't overlook it are the men who are high caliber men. And I'm going to tell y'all, stop seeking after those men who are making six figures or more, because they are not for you. Your feelings will be hurt every time, because you are searching for a man who is not available to you in your vicinity. Date the men who are available for you in your vicinity. Sometimes those men work regular white collar jobs, regular 9 to 5s. And some of you ladies are out there talking about, nah, I don't need me a man working at McDonald's. Granted, that man may be making 50K as a manager, making 40K as a crew chief, or now not a crew chief, but I don't know what they call them, a shift leader, a person who works at McDonald's, y'all know what I'm saying. I mean, you might be passing up a good man who's willing to love you right where you are, to go try to jump over him to get to a man who is not even looking at you, he looking past you. And that's all Kevin Samuels was saying. It's like women have this montage about themselves that we still operate in our heyday. Listen, ma'am, we are not 19 and 20 no more. Leave that stuff to the 19 and 20-year-olds. Once you have reached a mature age, you need to be acting like a mature woman and doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. That's securing the bag, taking care of your family, carrying yourself like a lady. Now, some of these ladies are out here in the club, taking these younger boys home, knocking their socks off, and then they think these young boys are going to wife them and love them. Baby, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because you have not put yourself in a position to receive that. In order for you to knock off a 19-year-old boy and want him to marry you, you have to have no ties. You have to have no children. You have to have some type of something going on for yourself. Now, those are normally the high value women that you find in the club looking for the young little sugar babies. Ma'am, if you are not a high value woman, you have no business in the club looking for a sugar baby. Go and get you that man who works at Wendy's or work for the city, or who is the bus driver, and they're more than willing to overlook your flaws. I ain't saying settle. That's not what I'm saying. Because somebody gonna say, I heard the word settle, baby. I ain't saying settle. I said be realistic. And there's nothing wrong with being realistic. And it doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. Sometimes we psych ourselves out of our blessings. And we psych ourselves out of our blessings because we'll have a plate that's put forth for us with wholesome, nutritious food in front of us, but yet we won't the quick food. We want the put it in the microwave, quicker fixer upper. We want the man who already got it. But we are a hungry man's dinner too. So sometimes you got to get with a hungry man's dinner and then create something of your own. It's possible. You can do it. You just gotta be in a place of realization and move out of the way of delusion. Some people just operate in delusion, and I'm telling you, I used to operate in a place of delusion, y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I used to be delusional. Call me Miss Delulu, okay? Call me Miss Delulu. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. But I don't say any of this to tear you down. I'm saying all of this because I want you guys to understand and for you guys to know that sometimes we stand in our own way. And I truly mean that, guys. Like, we have to have some value. We have to understand that sometimes with the choices that we made, we may not get what we want. We may want the high value man, but the high value man is not available to us because he's not looking for us. The high value man is looking for a woman that he can pretty much groom. Y'all already know the age is going to be younger. I just don't want women to keep putting themselves in a place of hurt and a place of disappointment because you're not listening. Men will tell you everything that you need to know. They will tell you what they want from you, but it's us who choose to ignore them, and then we be shocked when we get with someone who says, "I'm not really that into you." And why didn't you been tell us that? Baby, he told you that from the first date. He told you that on the second date. He told you that on the third date, but you just chose not to listen. You chose not to hear him. And the homeboy Kevin Samuels, he told y'all this. But everyone wanted to bash him. No one wanted to take that man seriously. That man passed away and everybody was happy. And that is really sad. It's really sad, but I'm gonna get off of that, y'all. But listen, ladies, love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. And listen, this ain't for those good women out there who got their stuff together, who's doing what's best for them, and they this is for the women who keep making the same mistakes, dating the same losers, keep on jumping in and out of relationships. You're in a new relationship every 30 days. You talking about this one is the one. You didn't listen. We didn't seen so many posts from you. And this man's the love of my life. Okay, that was the 50th homie that you said was the love of your life. Honey, we are still not that many months into 2025. Slow down, honey. Take a second and be single. I am not addressing those women who know their worth. And let me say something. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Having a man does not equate worth. I'm gonna be very clear about that. But I'm saying this for the women who keep searching for men and looking for men, and they put all of their value within a man. They feel like they value come from a man. But what I am saying to you guys is, if you want to be that woman who wants to date and keep on seeking after a relationship, then you have to work on something in you because you attract things that are within you. The men that you attract has something to do about how you carry yourself, how you are as a person. If you keep getting ain't shit dudes, then sis, something about you ain't shit. Ooh, ain't nobody like that. And nobody gonna like that. Y'all gonna be mad at me for saying that. But listen, I ain't trying to hurt y'all feelings. I'm just trying to be real. Cause why? I got some ain't shit parts about me too. Woo-hoo. Let me tell you, to sit here and talk and act like I'm an imperfect person would be the craziest thing in the world. It will be wild behavior. But the thing is, when you know things about yourself, you can address it and you can fix it. And that's what this is today is about. It's about elevation. And it's about paying homage to a king. Rest in peace. Rest in power, Kevin Samuels. You will forever be missed. I am sorry that we did not value you while you were here. I did, but there was a lot of women who didn't value you. And I wish that they did. And I wish that they understood that you weren't trying to be hurtful. You just was gonna be as clear as day and as blunt as possible. And sometimes clarity and being blunt and direct is the only way you're gonna sharpen your skills, hone on in your skills, and the only way you're gonna be a better person. And I don't want women to think this means they ain't got no work because they ain't got no man. Sis, I don't mean that, because you know what? There's some women out here who decides to be single. And listen, be that woman though. If you feel like you got some work to do and you not ready to be in a relationship because you have work to do, like I said, that's okay. There are some women who are out here, just like there are some men who are out here who are single on purpose. They are single because they know they are not ready to be in a relationship, because what they would bring is toxicity to a relationship and it would do harm to their partner. Those are the smart women. And I appreciate those women. But for those women who want to just keep jumping in and out of bed with Tom, Dick, and Harry, y'all need to slow y'all road. All right, guys. So we're going to head over to question of the day. And today's question of the day were answered by men only. Now, I did blur out the names of these men because I don't want no women going to their social medias bashing them and being mean. And you know how y'all do. So the question of the day is, what double standards do women have that you find unfair or unreasonable? This is for research purposes, no bashing. So there was a young man who responded, women telling you about physical, verbal abuse, about ex girlfriends I've had, and they immediately start empathizing with them. Oh, she must have had a bad childhood. Telling women about my creepy guys that touch me in really weird ways and having them laugh about it. This right here is really sad and it's really sick. And you know what? This is sometimes why I feel like there's always the men versus women thing going on, because I feel like sometimes as women, I have done it, guys. I'm a woman, so I know. Sometimes women have this double standard where we're like, oh, let her tell her truth. Be supportive of her when it comes down to abuse. But let a man tell us the same story. We'll make that man feel like they are worthless, like they are nothing, like they're not important because a man has experienced abuse. Sometimes women could be so unfair and so double sided, where we'll give us the safe space to vent about abuse, to vent about trauma, to vent about depression, but we don't give men that same satisfaction. We don't create safe spaces for men. When men try to open up, we'll tear them down, say, oh my God, he was abused. He's not manly. He must be gay. Oh, girl, you know he was molested, so he must be a little gay. And I find that to be so disgusting. I find that to be so sad. And this is why so many men are afraid to open up. So, women, when you out there and you have a man and you say you want that man to open up to you, want that man to be sensitive, comments like what this young man just shared is the reason why you can't have a man open up. Now, it may not be you in particular, but there was some woman out there who tore that man down in a way that made him feel less than. And let me be honest, sexual assault is bad when it happens to anyone. But when it happens to a man, they experience it on a level that we could never understand. We could say we have been sexually assaulted, but we can't understand it on the same level as a man, just like a man can't understand the violation on the same level as a woman. So the best thing we could do is say, I can never understand. I could never understand what you've been through, but I empathize with you. And I am so sorry that you went through this. And I'm going to pray for you. And I'm going to give you support. Men deserve that. Men totally deserve that. But we as women, we don't have to be accountable, right? We could just say things and be mean and not be understanding. But then we want for a man to turn around and give us grace, give us understanding, be sensitive with us. be emotionally caring and all of these things, but what about that brother's need? Don't men deserve to have a place where they vent? We should always be our man's safe space. And let me be very clear, I'm talking about the good men out here, okay? I'm talking about the good men who deserve it. And let me track it back. For any man who opens up, even if he's a loser, because we got some loser ass men out here, okay? I'm gonna be honest. Even if he's a loser, still be that ear. Be that ear, because guess what? You being that ear can help encourage that person to go get some help. Because let's be honest, men need therapy. Men need more hugs and less judgment. More hugs and less judgment. And I think that's why women have such problems dating men nowadays, because sometimes we say, oh, he wants to be chased, he wants to be the prize. Men think they are the prize. Maybe he just wants to feel like he's important too. Maybe that man has never went through life feeling like he's important. That could be a thing. So we have another same question, a different response. So, oh, this is so small. So I'm gonna read it, guys. So again, the question of the day was, what double standards do women have that you find unfair or unreasonable? This is for research purposes only. No bashing, no bashing, no bashing, no bashing. And again, I blacked out the name so that we don't go and bully these men on their profiles, because women do that. All right. So this gentleman said some women would disqualify a man based on physical attributes that he cannot change, but will be offended when a man disqualified them based on attributes that they can change. Listen, this was fire. This response was fire. Let me read this again. He said some women will disqualify a man based on physical attributes that they cannot change, meaning like they was born and their sausage or they package ain't up to par. Physical attributes that they cannot change, but will be offended when a man disqualify them based on attributes that they can change, like being a wide back. And I feel like, oh guys, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. That right there is a tough one. That's a tough one. So Imma say this. Imma say, when a man has a package and the package ain't for you, don't shame him. Let him deliver that package to someone else. Just tell him, "I'm gonna return this to sender. This is not for me." You ain't even gotta tell him the package ain't for you, really. You can just tell him, "At this time, I just don't feel like we are, um, we're I don't think that we're, qualified to be together." And, I'm not gonna hold you. If the love is real, you're not really gonna care about it. You're not really gonna care about it. But eventually down the line, when it's 15 years in, 20 years in, and he pissed you off, you're gonna care about it. So you need to make that decision right here, right now, whether you can handle that man in the capacity that he was born. Because you will want that man to still be there for you if you gain some weight, or if you lose some weight, you know? So when he said physical attributes that they can change, he meaning like you can work out, you can go to the gym. I can't grow my manhood. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be honest. Some men weren't blessed in that area. But should we shame them? Hell nah. If you have a man and you know he was small, don't go telling your girlfriends the packet was small. And that's what he means by that. Because that's just mean. He can't help that. You know? So just be mindful and be understanding to men. Like, let's offer men a safe space, please. Because women fail to realize if we offered men more safe spaces, there would be more good men out there. There would definitely be more good men out there. Well, guys, that is all that I have for today. Listen, I want to thank each and every person who tuned in. This is Miss Speak on It, and this is Miss Accountability, the channel. And if you guys have not done so yet, please go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Because, baby, we appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving. And listen, I'm not here to bash women. I'm not here to do that. I'm a woman myself. I have mad love for the women. But I do understand that there is a gap between men and women. Let's be honest. There's a pay gap between the women. The men makes more money than us. But then I think we punish the men by being more harsh on them. Um, let's be more understanding and let's create a safe world for each and every last one of us. But let's be 100% honest. Women run the world. People don't want to admit that, but we run the world. If a woman was to come and go to court and said that a man assaulted her, 9 out of 10, that man is going to go to jail. But if a man goes to court and says that a woman assaulted him, they're going to laugh at him in his face, and that woman is not going to go to jail. There's a lot of things that women have power over that men don't. And there's some things out here that men have power over that we don't neither. But if you have a good man in your life, treat him right. Don't punish him for the past of the other men. Get over that trauma. That's on you, honey. You got to do better. You got to do better. But man, if you want for a woman to love you, respect you, and treat you right, then you have to offer up that same thing. You have to be vulnerable. You have to hold yourselves accountable. We all have to play our parts. Let's be honest. This isn't a one-sided game. This is a two-sided thing. The thing is, women are less than likely to admit to their wrongcomings or their shortcomings than men. Men usually apologize before we do. So, sometimes us women got to put our pride aside, listen to our men. Sometimes you got to listen to some of these men out here who's saying, hit the gym. Man, listen, y'all know how wide my back is. I wish somebody would have told me to hit the gym because I'd have picked up another donut. I ain't even gonna lie, I'd picked up another donut. But see, no, not listening, not listening. But the new me, the working on herself me, the holding myself accountable for me will go to the gym and get myself together because I have no choice but to hold myself accountable because there've been so many people in my life, mostly men, gearing me towards the right direction and I chose not to listen. And then I sit around and I watch my girlfriends and I listen to my girlfriends and then I realize none of us listen. None of us listen. It'd take 6 of us to screw in the dang on light bulb because none of us listen. But that's been today's segment, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all can catch me whenever I got dang on get on here because it be random as heck. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for the support. Listen, each one teach one. Listen, I want you guys to love on each other, show each other kindness, and hold each other accountable. And when you're in the face of accountability, I want you guys to not be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of accountability because accountability only gets you to a higher level and a higher perspective in life. Growth. Accountability and growth goes hand in hand. We're not here to tear you down. We're here if we're going to destruct you or tear you down or dismantle you, we're going to do that for the betterment of you, the betterment of us. And sometimes we have to dismantle ourselves to create a better version of ourselves. So there's going to be a lot of people who does not like what I got to say, and I don't really give a flying whoo-hoo. But I'm telling you, if you want better, you got to do better. With love and care, this is your girl, Miss Spick on it, aka Miss Accountability, Miss Reason, Miss One Mind, Two Mind, Three Mind, Four Mind, Five Mind, Six Personalities. I love each and every last one of you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And always hold yourself accountable and be the best person that you can be with the love and care. Goodbye.